Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and my messy office. I put some pumpkins here. It is fall. That's the best I can do at this point. So today I'm going to be doing some fall book recommendations. I did one that was like cozy fall reads. These are just going to be like generally books that make me think of fall, whether it's like the atmosphere or things that are happening in the story. I often associate fall with like back to school. So if there's an obvious like back to school scene or something that's going to make me think of that, or just sometimes like if it's a little bit of a spooky read, then that makes me think more of fall. So first I'm going to talk about controversial one here, maybe Twilight. Now, this is not my favorite book. I actually don't even really like it that much anymore, but it's very nostalgic for me, and I feel like I read this when I was younger, and it's the like back to school beginning of this book really just like reminds me of fall, and she's talking about the weather constantly, and as someone from the Pacific Northwest, like I can attest to like the constant rain, the drizzle, like the dreariness. I love it. However, Bella's just, she was not a good character in my opinion. But yeah, so I do like very much think of this book as like a fall book, and it's one of those like, oh yeah, this reminds me of my hometown. The movie actually filmed, one of the locations was very close to where I lived, and I visited there, and actually there was, for a very short time, a restaurant set up there that you could go and have like Bella's ravioli, like mushroom ravioli there, and I did. So I was at one point a very big Twilight fan, and I still like it because of nostalgia, and would say like read it because it's hilarious and the dialogue is a treat. So that'll be my first one. And then if you're looking for something a little bit more scary, like murder mystery spooky, I'm gonna say Hallowe'en Party by Agatha Christie. Now this one, I'm gonna recommend two Agatha Christie novels, but this one I feel like the movie, from what I've heard, is nothing like the book. This is at a kid, starts off, and I'm not gonna do spoilers for any of these, just basic overview. At a kid's Halloween party, and Ariadne Oliver is there, and then there is a girl who's talking about how she witnessed a murder, and then lo and behold, she ends up being killed. So it's like this young girl, I think she's supposed to be like 13 or something, is saying, oh, I saw a murder, and everyone at the party just thinks she's trying to like make herself seem like she's really important, or like that she's cool, because everyone's trying to like fit in at that age. And then she ends up dead. And so Ariadne Oliver is really upset. She goes to Poirot and is like, please help me, let's figure this out, let's figure out what happened. So that's this one. And I really like this book. It's fun. I love, like I said, Poirot and Ariadne Oliver together are my favorites. So from what I've heard, though, the movie is nothing like this, so you'll have to let me know if you see it. But from what I can understand, the next one I'm going to recommend is The Pale Horse. The movie does have a seance in it, which is in this book. This is not Poirot. This is Mark Easterbrook, I believe, is the main guy, and then he's like kind of, I think, a side character that shows up now and then. And he finds out through means, like through other people, that there's a place called the Pale Horse. And supposedly you can go there if you want something done, you know, like murder. And this will just appear to be like, it will just happen. The person that you want to die will just die, and these people are like fixers. And so, because they have black magic, and there's a seance, and this one has that like creepy vibe, and definitely like more in line with the like overall like October Halloween feel. So The Pale Horse, it's good. Okay, and then this one, you may not think of this, but The Silver Chair, which is my favorite Narnia book, this one actually starts off like the first line is literally, hang on, it was a dull autumn day, and Jill Pole was crying behind the gym. And like this is what I relate to, like this, it's school, it's, you know, autumn obviously, and this book starts off with them going back to school, the beginning of school, and Jill and Eustace are the main characters. If you read the other books, you're going to know that like Eustace has this big character arc where he was not a good person and then he changes. So Jill actually knew him obviously before because they've been in school together. So she's seen that he's changed, but she's still like, yeah, you were a jerk last year and now you're back and you're trying to be like nice. And he's like, I'm really trying. So they are kind of like friends, but like you're not really sure, you know, how close the friends are going to be, because she still has her only like interactions with him have been negative up to this point, but he's changed. And so then he tells her, well, I went to Narnia and that's where, you know, everything changed for the better for me. So they are getting chased by bullies and end up going to Narnia, and then the adventure begins. But this definitely has like a fall vibe to me because of the school setting, and then just it obviously is set in autumn. Okay, so this literature, recommend. Okay, the last ones I don't have with me. I'm pretty sure I own them, but yeah, everything's a mess right now. So I'm going to recommend The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I read this last year and really liked it, and I do think a lot of really good like short stories that are like more of that creepy like folklore, they really work for this time of year. So I'm going to definitely recommend that one. And then anything by Edgar Allan Poe to me is fall. It's like that kind of gothic, dark vibe. And I remember reading The Telltale Heart years ago. So I was probably in my early teens, and it stuck with me because I think it was the first story I read with an unreliable narrator. And I had no idea. I didn't like know anything about this story. And I read it and I was like, oh, well, oh my gosh, I see at the end there, like, he was crazy the whole time. Like, and it just like hit me, like, even though he was telling you the opposite, like I was so young at the time. I was like, oh, well, of course I'm gonna just believe this. You know, he's like telling you the story. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, but really, he was crazy. So I know the revelations that I had at 13. But anyway, it was a really good book. I like short story. And then I also like The Raven. I like all of his stuff. And there's another one called like The Black Cat that I've read. I read a bunch of it a long time ago, but anything by Edgar Allan Poe, I recommend. So those are just a few of my fall recommendations. So yeah, definitely check these out. If you're looking for something more like of the season and kind of fun, I definitely have like things that I always associate. I don't know, also like breakups. Breakups and breakup songs. For me, it's the fall. I don't know. It's just the changing of the season, changing of the boyfriends, whatever. Anyway, so those are all my fall recommendations, and I would love to know what you're reading for fall. And if you have a book that like totally reminds you of this season and makes you feel like it's the perfect fall book, let me know in the comments and I'll check it out. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.